ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to another episode of Cultural Awareness. This is not an episode of Flavor Flav, no, an episode where you learn how to fry chicken so you can go ahead and slap your mama, right? Anyway, I don't know if you guys remember those Friday movie, Chicken So Good, make you wanna slap your mama. But anyway, those were fun time, man. So those movies are still out there. But anyway, welcome to Cultural Awareness. We talk about culture, we talk about story, and we have quotes of the day. Man, one thing about this story for today is betrayal, right? Betrayal. Is it betrayal? Is it not? What would you guys think? My job out here is solo being Big Daddy Steph and go ahead and tell the story just the way I was told to tell it, and then let my fan, the public, go ahead and judge and decide what they will do if they find themselves in that specific situation or something close. Life is full of experience, man. In order for you to move forward, you just gotta learn from all your mistakes. That being said, without having to waste any more time, here's the story of the day. So the story is sent to me by this lady. Let's call her Katrina. So Katrina, or if I want to say with an African accent, Katrina. Okay, guys, I know I'm a fool, man. But anyway, so Katrina is a lady that wrote us because she wants to know our opinion. She's in a situation that is pretty bad, and this is due to her ex-husband. So I realized that I have told so many stories where, women, most of the time are at fault, that people might think that I hate women or anything like that. No, women are our mother, our sister, you know what I mean? They give birth, they are the circle of life, being able to reproduce and create another human being coming out of you. Man, that is a beautiful and amazing thing. So no, I just tell the story that I receive, right? And I know that I receive a lot of them, right? So I just got to go out there and, just take a draw, and whatever comes in my hand, that is what I would decide to tell that day. But for today, I'm not trying to make you or give you any prejudgment or anything like that. We will go straight into it, guys. So Katrina wrote us because, like I said, she's in a bad situation. What happened? Well, so Katrina has been, she was married for 7 years. And while she was married with her husband, she was working for a big company. I know the company, I will not say the name, but let's just say it's a pretty big company that also has a pretty big competitor. You know what I mean? So she was married with her husband. While she was making 200,000, whoo, girl, go get your money. But anyway, while she was making $200,000 a year, her husband was making 60. Let me repeat that. She was making $200,000 a year and her husband was making 60. So what happened? Katrina felt like she wanted her husband to upgrade, right? So she said, hey, at some point I was the one going to school, so you can work. Now I think we have to change the rule where, because I'm already making $200,000 a year, I think it would be best, or it would be good for us if you went back to school, get your degree, and so you can get a better job that will pay you even more money. The husband at the beginning, us, man, with the ego, because you're going to go from making at least 60 to zero. So he wasn't quite comfortable with that. But finally, he was like, you know what? Yeah, you're right, baby. So let's go ahead and I will go to school, reluctantly. So he went back to school and he started studying, and he finished it in 3 years. And after 3 years, after 3 years, what happened is he got a good job, a really good job. But where did he get the good job? Again, he got a good job from his wife company opponent, meaning like, the competition, right? And the wife was like, I don't think it would be a good idea for you to take a job from them because they are our direct competitor. And for the last 7 years that I have been here with you, or at least the last 5 years, I have given to you all my company secret. So you going now and working for the competitor, you will know certain things that we do in our company, and it will put me in a bad situation where I can get fired, I can get prosecuted. You know what I mean? Because you know how a wife or a husband come at home like, hey baby, how was your day? And you start talking, oh man, at work this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. So in the meantime, you don't know what the other person is doing with that information. You are just telling them how your day was. But in the mean, if you're telling your partner, someone that you marry, you put a ring on it, you're supposed to trust them, right? I don't blame her for trusting him. So she trusts him, and next thing you know, the husband, fast forward, since he got a job with a competitor, he doesn't want to leave the company. He said he's gonna take the job, and his wife is like, "No, you shouldn't take the job. I think you can. You are smart. You have a degree now. You have everything that requires you to find a job somewhere else." But the husband doesn't want to. He just want to take from that competitor. So it started creating, friction in their relationship. Now, when you fast forward, so one day she get called at the office at work. When she get to work, it was the president of the company that came at that office with her manager, and they came there because this lady, obviously, if she's making $200,000, she was occupying like a VP role, right? So I'm talking about Katrina here. She was occupying a VP role. So they call her in the office, and then when she's getting at the office, guess who she sees? Her husband. And she's asking him, like, what are you doing here? He doesn't say anything. What are you doing here? He doesn't say. So they all go in the office. And then the husband put down, and she had told me this about your company. She needs to be fired. So guess what the company did? They went ahead and fired her, in a way where where it would be hard for her to find a job anywhere else, right? In the meantime, that is what the husband wanted. So by the time she leaves the office to get back home, so she can confront her husband why he would do such thing. When she get at home, the house is completely clear. At least her husband's stuff are completely clear. He had moved out, and pick up all his clothes, shoes, everything. This is how people, man, I'm telling you, this is how people, as soon as they see a little dollar, they switch real quick. But anyway, he took everything and he left the house. Now, unfortunately for him, he forgot an iPad, his iPad. So she goes and start looking at the iPad and looking through the iPad, and she realized that the husband has been recording her every time she come home for the past 5 to 7 years. So that is how he couldn't forget exactly about company secret, and that is what he has sent those voice to the president of her company. That's how they were able to say that, we know with exactitude, or we know it precisely, that you have told your husband company secret, and for that you gotta be fired. That is how she knew that her husband for the past 7 years, and she started wondering, like, every time we were talking, when I got back home, I thought he was working on the iPad, when instead he was recording me. So I think he has been planning for this the whole time. And how could I be stupid and not seeing it? I'm like, no, you are not stupid. You trusted your husband, which you are supposed to do. You are supposed to trust your partner, right? If you decide to marry somebody, you're supposed to trust them. But on this case, guys, girls, man, she went into a big trouble. So now in the iPad, woman, she kept searching, and she found out that for the past like 3 to 4 years, he was with another woman that kept convincing him that, hey, you need to leave your wife. We're gonna keep eating her money, and as soon as she goes broke, you can leave her. So he has been planning for it for the past 3 years, which he was at school. So now the lady doesn't know what to do. She's fired. She got no job right now as we speak. So she got fired. She got no job, and she's wondering what she should do, because the husband obviously asked for divorce, and they are divorced now. So what should she do? If you were in her position, what would you do? So I told her, like, as a man, I feel bad for what happened to her because that is one of the worst things to happen to somebody. Why? Because you are thinking that, with the relationship that you guys have had, that you can trust that person, right? You put your trust in that person, and that you guys went all the way as far as getting married. So you definitely think that you have your lifetime partner with you, and for them to go and do this behind your back just because now they are making better money, and they get you fired so you cannot make yours, so you can be miserable. I would get it if he just wanted, to split up and leave. That would be okay. He was like, okay, I don't want to be married anymore. Let's get it. That would be a lot better than having to go out there, get her fired, and then leave your house knowing that you were now the only person making money, and you leave her in the dust like that. That is not cool. That is definitely not cool. And I told her to take her, to be patient, because good things will come to her, right? You were a VP before. I know that because you have that nasty thing on your resume. You can always tell the truth to people whenever you are getting recruited, because now people are willing to hire you knowing that you have learned from your mistake. So you can always do that, but be patient and find a way to keep applying for other jobs, and get yourself better first and learn from it. You know what I mean? Now I understand why all those people, policemen, detective, when they get home, they are like, oh yeah, this is a classified information. I'm not allowed to talk about it. Now we all understand why. Because even though you trust your partner, there are certain sensitive information that you are not supposed to provide them, no matter how much they ask you about what you do. Because matter of fact, the more they are insisting on what you do at work and things like that, then you should be suspicious about their intention. Because yeah, we married, but you didn't marry the job. You know what I mean? So you didn't marry her and her job. No, you marry her. So if she tell you it's classified information, just leave it like that, because if she wanted to tell you, she will definitely tell you. Don't put people's life in jeopardy. You know what I mean? So I feel really sorry for Katrina. I hope the best for her, and I hope that you guys are able to leave your comment and see exactly, and maybe leave some advice on the podcast, whether it's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, all that. You know what I mean? So go ahead and leave some comment, and share. Mostly share, right? Because sharing is caring. That sounds like that sounds like a cartoon, but yeah, sharing is caring. But anyway, thank you guys again for listening to the podcast. This was Big Daddy Steph with Cultural Awareness Podcast, and you are about to be good. Thank you.